Hello.
Hello. Here we are again.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
All right.
So,
Thumbs up if you can hear us, just to make sure.
sometimes there's a weird glitch that we don't know about.
Right. Sometimes between the morning and the afternoon. Hello. Can you hear us?
Dun, 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 dun. Nobody's
Right.
saying they can't, so I'm going to go with that's a positive sign.
Yes. Okay. So,
Hi.
it's been a really interesting last hour.
So we found this really neat video. I shouldn't say we. Sarah found this really neat video and she sent it to me. I'm like, hey, that's really cool. We should totally do that. So we're going to totally do that. Or better yet, we're going to try.
Yeah. We're going to.
So I made this really cool painter's hat that looks like I'm an artist from like the 1800s.
Yep.
That's what I made myself.
Our first try was a big, giant fail.
So I put in a very, thank you, I put in a very firm stabilizer because that's what it looked like in the video.
Yes.
It is not what it was. So I couldn't fold it appropriately, which meant it wouldn't go where it needed to go in the seam. So I have a bowl.
Yeah. Kind of a bowl.
It's a bowl.
So, yeah.
But it's not a very pretty bowl.
No. I mean, it's pretty because the fabric is pretty.
The fabric's pretty, but it's not a well-shaped bowl.
No, it's a giant fail.
It is a huge fail. But like I said, I have like almost a tricorn hat.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. This is our first attempt at a fabric folded bowl. It's very stylish as a hat.
Like I said, I kind of look like an artist from the 1800s. They had those big poofy hats.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe if I go that way.
Yep. Now you kind of look like Blossom from the 90s. Did you ever watch that TV show? She wore the big hats.
Maybe.
No.
It's not ringing a bell at the moment. So anyway, don't do this.
Yep.
So we keep saying we make the mistake so you don't have to. Don't use that
That's what happens
stabilizer.
if you use the wrong type of stabilizer.
Yeah,
We're gonna
it was
do something
way
else.
way too firm, so I couldn't fold it appropriately to make the box, which is really what we're doing, to make it a basket. It wouldn't let me fold it. It just kept pushing back, and therefore it's not actually in the top seam, which makes it make a box. It just, so there's, the whole top seam is flimsy.
Yes.
And it's pretty. I mean, all the stitches are in the right spot. There's just no stabilizer in the top seam. But yes,
So,
the fabric is beautiful.
We're going to try it again.
We're going to do it again. And we've switched stabilizers. So hopefully this is just going to be a beautiful thing and it's all going to come out perfect.
Yes.
So today that's going to be our thing. So it says that we're going to be able to do this in 20 minutes. We don't need to do it in 20 minutes, so we're going to talk a little bit and stuff while we're doing it and while we're going through everything. So did we change the needle?
Yes. I put a
So
microtex needle
we
in
now have a microtex needle in there.
instead of an embroidery needle.
Well, I was just like, oh, it'll be fine. Well, yeah, it was like pop, 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 pop. It was definitely not the right needle. Yes, a couple thunks. So we did switch that out as well. So probably would want that because you're going to be going through fabric and stabilizer, which in our case, this time around is a fusible batting.
Yes.
So
Oh, look,
fingers
light
crossed
rain
that
That's a new notification.
soon, sometime coming up, we'll be having that. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so before we get started on that, though, we both have class coming up next week. And then the week after that, we have our big July summer sale
Yes.
that is going to be big.
Yes.
Like all different kinds of things all rolled into one.
So big it can't even fit in our head.
Yeah, it's leaking out all over the place. So we're going to do our thread sale. We're going to do machine sales. We're going to do cabinet sales. We're going to do chair sales. We're going to do fabric sales. We're going to do pattern sales. Kimberbell Day is in there. And I think we have a dime event on Friday that was scheduled a long time ago.
Before.
Yep. So we will be hopefully sending out
A few more emails.
emails. We've got some event stuff coming up that we'll be sending out, that dime event registration and things like that. So we'll be sending that out, and of course details for the sale, but that'll be a little bit closer too. So that's what's coming up. So our classes next week, I've got embroidery club and Sarah's going to be doing sewing club. I think those are super cute.
Yours is cute too.
So I think it's going to be a fun one, guys. So if you're not busy, both of us do have the virtual option or a in-store option. Mine is going to be hybrid, so same time. For either, you can stay home or be here same time. So I'm going to be doing mine on Thursday. I'm going to be coming in just for that. And we're going to play and sew and embroider and all of that good stuff. And we're going to be stitching on t-shirts. So the we talked about how to stabilize for these in general, but sometimes you have some specialty things. So this is the design that I am providing that we'll be stitching. And you can see that it's on the neckline here. So it's going to be a little bit different than what we generally talked about if you're doing just like a big embroidery across the center of a shirt or the back of a shirt or something like that, because you have to get a little creative if you're doing right across the edge of something, because you can't hoop it like normal. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And there is a very inexpensive kit of stabilizer and then this design that is available. You will, of course, be choosing your own t-shirt. So I'm not providing those. So this is the multicolored option. And then I do have it stitched. If you don't want to change colors, you can do that all with a monochromatic, and it looks very nice as well. So that is Embroidery Club. The class is total of $25, $20 class fee, $5 kit fee. You can use your coupon if you have them, your club card, and use that $20 discount. So basically it's just that $5 if you have that option. And then these are so cute too.
I have Sewing Club. So Sewing Club is blanket stitch applique. So these really cute mug rugs. So the pattern is included. There's actually a third one, which is like popsicles. I didn't stitch that one out. So the class is $20. The kit is $10. In your kit, you have enough fabric and stabilizer and fusible already printed for you to make 2 mug rugs, any 2 of the 3. And that kit fee is $10. So if you are coming in person, I did separate my in-person and virtual just because I would like, if you're here and you're in person, you know, so many different machines have so many different styles of blanket stitches. I wanted to be able to have the time to
the
kind
hands-on for you to walk around in the classroom.
And when it's kind of disconnected like that, I feel like I'm either talking to the people online or talking to the people in the classroom, and there's not a great.
It's hard to do both.
It's a little
for
hard
that.
to be super hands-on like that. So I wanted to give anybody who wanted to join us the opportunity to get a little bit more hands-on, and then anybody in the afternoon who would like to stitch as well, then I'll be there, and you can kind of hold up your project, and you know, I can kind of critique it.
And that's going to be Friday. So
That's
morning
Friday.
and afternoon.
Yeah, virtual in the
next
afternoon.
Friday. Not this week, next Friday.
Yes.
So about a week away, and there's still spaces in either class for either option. So we'd love to have you join us. We do realize summer's super busy for everybody, but they're fun little classes and not super expensive, which is always nice as well.
Right.
So those are coming up next week, Thursday and Friday.
Next Thursday and Friday. And tomorrow we have Software Club. It's not Software Club, but
Software class. And we did have a couple people. We were completely booked for both the morning and the afternoon, but we had a couple people had to cancel. So there are a couple openings. If you were hoping to get into the software class and it was booked when you went to register, let us know, because we can probably get you in. So there are, actually, you could probably just go to the site.
Yep, you should be able to
because
just go
you can just go and pop in and register, because your spots are emptied. So they're now available again online, or you can call. Either way.
Yep.
We're happy to do that. So
should we get right into it?
we're gonna this is just gonna go so easy. It's gonna be a breeze, right?
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna plop over here. Okay.
Plop.
So plop. We are going to work with this fabric here.
So this is a free pattern that we found on the internet.
Yep.
So there's no
written instructions.
instructions. That's not that kind of thing. if you would like, we do have a kit that you can purchase that would basically give you the materials to make two.
Yes.
And it's going to be enough stabilizer and fabric to do that. And again, we'll have our video that's going to be such high class instructions. You're going to be blown away.
Yep.
And we'll, of course, always answer questions. So for your pieces, we've got this beautiful blue multicolored flower and then a white, a little bit smaller that matches in color. So I've got the outside and the liner piece. And then you can fuse this to either. Doesn't really matter. We've got ours fused to the lining, but it doesn't really make much difference.
And scrolling down below is the sizes. So 18 inches for the top piece and the lining piece, and then your stabilizer piece, preferably something that is fusible, so firm fusible stabilizer, should be 12.5 by 12.5. And that is what you're going to start with. Then you're going to fuse your stabilizer onto one of your fabrics. Like Lisa said, it doesn't really matter. So fuse that down, and then we are going to stitch all the way around, leaving an opening for turning.
That is correct. So pretty sides together. We're going to just stitch all the way around the outside, and I'm using about a 1/4 inch seam is what I have the machine set up at. I'm going to move my hat out of the way so that I have a little bit more workspace. And I'm just going to put a couple wonder clips just so that I don't get completely off.
Do you need a foot controller or anything?
Nah,
No?
well, probably, but it's all right. I'll suffer.
I'm sure there's one around here.
I don't know where it disappeared to, but that's all right.
It can't be far.
It would have really helped on that other one, but I think I'll make it with this one. All right. So again, we just need to leave one opening somewhere. Now, I cut these literally right on top of one another. But do you think they're the same size?
No, they're big pieces.
That would be too simple. All right, so we are just going to stitch a 1/4 inch-ish seam allowance, and then we're going to turn through an opening that we leave. Let's just turn that corner now. That'd be fun if I knocked all those on the floor, wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I like to start a little bit before a corner. And if you are the type of person who like struggles on when to start and stop, like you blow past where you want to start and stop, if you take a pin and you just put it in, I usually use like a double pin in the area where I want to go ahead and stop. That's a good reminder for my brain to say, oh, I should stop here instead of doing that. Sometimes I just get carried away.
Well, hello.
Here you go, hon.
Oh, look at that.
I even got you the nice one.
She even got me the good one. So we're just going all the way around with the softer, still firm yet soft. Oh, that's not even going to catch. Crap. I went and
I think it's
I
fine.
backstitched over my stuff the first time around.
Yeah,
But I didn't even catch it.
that's all right. This is fusible, so it shouldn't move around on you.
No, the corner popped up, so. I was gonna grab hold of it there, but. Do, 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 do.
Oops, we hit the camera. Sorry, guys.
My bad. I was trying to straighten my piece out because the bottom one's
Shifting.
shifting just a wee
Getting
bit.
shifty.
Yeah. You guys sing while you sew, right? That's not weird. Evidently, I sing while I embroider too. Of course, I can't usually hear it.
Good point. It's a little louder when we embroider.
One more stitch. Yep.
This fabric is pretty simple. A little tip in corners, if you sew that last stitch
Get a
on a
couple of
slight
them.
diagonal,
Yep.
it tends to be a straighter piece when you're finished.
It does. I didn't remember where I started. I was just looking. I lost track of how many times I did it already.
I know, right? It's so easy to do.
I was singing, wasn't paying attention.
Last corner.
So you're talking like doing a...
Yep, one stitch across. There you go.
Yeah, I usually do that. I don't know why I didn't do it last.
And then this is our last side. So we're going to be sure to leave an opening so that we can turn it. And don't leave your opening so small because then it's just harder to turn.
Yeah,
You'll just pop
no
your
reason
stitches.
to make everything hard.
Right. And then we're going to take this over to our ironing mat here. And Lisa was doing something that I thought was really smart. When she was turning this, she was using her little turning tool and she was kind of doing it in smaller increments.
Aww,
I
so
tend
sweet.
to I do the whole thing and then I'm like in there with my hand and it's hot. So that was really smart.
So first thing I'm gonna do is turn everything. So I'm just grabbing and trying to don't be too rough because, you know, if I did backstitch, but still don't want to pop anything out.
Hi, Cindy.
So here's that corner that I started with. Yeah, this iron is warming me.
All right, so now we're getting to that point. After you turn it, then we're going to top stitch it. So she's going to work on getting that turned and pressed because we want it to look nice.
So
she's got her little turning tool in there.
first thing is I get my corners as nice as I can. And then, as she said, I generally use my turning tool.
They can't quite see you.
Yep.
There we go.
So I put this as my turning tool and I put that back in. And now that my corner is nice, I use the turning tool to press out the seam. You guys see that? So I'm back in the corner here and I'm pushing with that tool right along the seam. And then I go back and hit it with my iron. So I don't just have my hand in there. I find that by the time I burn off, you know, a few of my fingerprints, it's no fun.
No, it's not.
So I do small sections, and I do actually like to do this with a smaller iron. Then I don't have too big of an area at any given time that I'm trying to do. And then we just keep doing that. So got one side down. And the last thing that I'm going to do is my opening. I'm going to turn those pieces in and press those so that when I do the top stitch, you can't tell where my opening was at.
We need some fancy music. We need like a band that
do.
plays for us.
We totally do. Because my singing probably was not up to par. My humming along, right?
Yeah, we need like the Roots, like the Jimmy Fallon show.
I could go with that. That would work for me.
Tucker and the trombones.
I play clarinet, thank you. I played for 8 years.
Why don't you bring it in and play for us?
Because I got termites. Got termites 3 times. They're just awful.
Yeah, I got a little bump there. My
So it should be Tucker and the Termites.
Yes.
That's a great band name.
Yes.
actually, it's pretty good. I like it. All right.
I didn't realize until like as an adult how expensive reeds are. Like I went through reeds like crazy in high school and middle school. I'm like, wow, my mom must have loved me.
Yeah, but I mean, in my day, those reeds were not that expensive.
It was like $20-some a box. And you only got like 8 or something a box.
Yeah, they were not that expensive when I.
Child, I realized how
I also played the clarinet.
Me too.
Didn't we have this conversation? How did we
I
all?
don't end up playing the
We
clarinet.
all played the clarinet here.
not me. I didn't play
We probably had this conversation on a Tuesday or Friday.
sports ball. No,
I missed the beginning. Is there a link to the pattern? What size are the square pieces? Which interfacing did you end up using? Actually, there isn't a pattern for this. And if you rewatch the video, all of the information is there in case this doesn't make sense. But we started with two 18-inch pieces, and we started with a 12.5-inch piece of stabilizer. So we have fusible batting in here, but I think that like the Lazy Girl Fuse It Firm would be, or something like Pellon Decor Bond is probably the very best choice. But we're definitely going to see how the batting works. I think if the batting works well, it'll be but I'm not sure if it's going to be, it's going to have a lot of shape because it is soft, but it will at least allow us to show you the concept. But we found this. This is a free pattern. I found it on Instagram. Some gal was doing a video of this, and her video is much quicker than this, and she doesn't really give you any details about anything that she's doing. So we're kind of
You guys would have literally laughed at us watching. We had the video going. We're like, nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, and you can't pause it because, of course, it's an Instagram reel, so it's just going super quick. So we thought we would reinvent the wheel and give it a whirl, and so that's what we're doing right now. Is we're reinventing the wheel. And our first one was a fail because
I used
the
shape
Kimberbell
flex.
shape form,
shape
flex,
whatever.
So it's
The stuff
very
they use in the
stiff.
houses.
And it looks like it looks like a hat, like a captain's hat or a painter's hat. Like it might have come from Outlander. And so now we have fusible batting in here, which is fusible because definitely you want to use a fusible. Don't
Definitely
try
need
it
a fusible.
without a fusible.
Yep, that was mistake number one. And I even said as I was going, I'm like, this is going to be bad. Do we have any spray adhesive? All right. Good enough for who it's for. All right, so I used my turning tool to keep all of my edges as smooth as possible. And now we're just going to top stitch. So I'm going back over to the machine. I still have my seam set at about 1/4 inch. I'm just going to move my fabric over just a hair so it's not right on that edge, and hopefully it'll grab
The
my
folded in
seam.
piece,
Yeah. I don't even remember which side.
right there.
It's right there. I'm like, okay, where am I at? All right, so I'm coming up on that seam. Keep it nice and tight so I don't have any edges.
And round the corner. Okay, this side wasn't pressed as well. That's okay. That's what happens when you try to do it fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quicker I go,
The hurrier you go, the further behind you get.
something like that. And one more.
And I think up to this point, this is the simple part.
Yeah, agreed.
The next part is the part that we had to keep pausing, and well, we couldn't pause, so we just had to
We
keep
kept
watching
watching
over
it.
and over.
And wait for it to get back to that part and then try to get it again. All right, I suppose you could probably do a decorative stitch on that if you want, but quite frankly, it's mostly going to get covered.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't waste too much time on that. A lot of times I like to do top stitching like that with a decorative stitch, but I wouldn't bother on this guy here.
No.
All right, so I have everything sewn together, and my edges are all good.
Now we fold.
And now we try not to screw up the fold. So what we're going to do is, she folded it like all kinds of weird. She folded it in half, and then she folded it this way, and then
She was like, don't do that.
why did she do that?
I don't know.
So top stitch, you're not going this way, you're going to go this way. Once we
Basically
have,
folding it in fours.
yes, so you're going to get this fold here, and then we're folding it this way.
Don't you just fold it in, yeah, quarters then?
All right, so first one is in half here, and then you're going to take the top corner and take it up to the top, pulling out these corners here. So underneath, it's going to look like that. And if you are looking, you're going to have the fold here. And then, see, there's way too many folds. We do it again, right?
Yep.
And this guy then comes up to the top as well.
So it's kind of like you have a napkin here with all of your four edges at the top.
But this guy needs to go this way.
Yeah.
So once you have all of those, we're going to have two flaps to the right, and we're going to have two flaps to the left. All right, I'm going to do that again because this is the part where everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
If you were anything like us. So we have our 18 by 18. Just get the iron a little bit more out of the way so I don't accidentally burn my hand. All right, we're going to fold it into a rectangle. So hot dog fold. All right, you're going to take your bottom corner here.
The top bottom corner.
So you've got two corners here, and you've got two corners here. So the top one at the bottom, which is your outside fabric, and you're going to take it up to the top and then fold it over is really what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that folds in, that folds up. So there we go, and that folds up and over, right?
Yep.
I feel like I did that wrong. There we go. See, this is why we did it again. And then again. And fold back over. So you should have 2 here and 2 here. Make sure that you get those as even as possible.
You could probably also, what if, let's do a different fold.
Okay.
Fold it diagonally first. So what if we folded it, I wonder if that's why she did it. What if we folded it in like this, and then we folded in this way? Is that less confusing?
Certainly could. Tuck in,
Yeah, and then tuck in.
and then you got to straighten. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, either way, I mean, you're going to end up in the same spot. The idea is that we've got triangles in all of these spots. Okay, again, 2 flaps on each side, and underneath here, we want those as even as possible with your top piece.
And is this the part where we thought we should press?
Almost.
Almost.
So we're going to then take these, which is, this is where my stuff was too thick. We're going to fold in
And fold in.
and then flip it over and fold in and fold in. Now we're going to press that. I'm just going to give that bottom layer a little bit of love there too. Okay, so I'm going to set that down. All right, so we've got, still have 2 flaps. These are folded this way. These are folded that way. Okay, how are we doing?
I think we're doing good.
So now we're going to open this guy here until we have, it's nice to have a alternating
Because it's easy to see.
C there.
And this fold is going to fold straight underneath.
So you have half here and half here. That piece is really not even. I should probably fix that before I go too far. Better? Close enough, whatever. All right, so each of these folds we're going to flatten. So leave that fold there and smush so that we kind of have that line here, and we still have that line there. This is going to tuck underneath, so it will now look like that on either side, and we are going to clip right on that fold. We're going to repeat on this side here. Tuck that lower one on that fold underneath and clip. All right, so we have 2. Flip over and repeat here. There's your guy. Fold him underneath and clip. And then last but not least, we've got this guy over here. We're going to smush him down and then fold that one underneath. So we have points on each end and folded pieces on the sides. So here and there, both sides should look the same. Once we have that, we're going to take and fold these down. So we have our point here. I think should go farther. This is
The part that I didn't get right because I couldn't fold the last one.
Right, right.
so
I think the goal is that the tuck goes and it folds right into those, right?
yeah. So if we fold here and we go 1, 2,
That seems right.
all right.
Because the tuck is kind of now in there,
It's
right?
now in, it's right
Right.
on that.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to fold the entire top flap, so I kind of have like the envelope thing, and I'm using a little bit of this too. I'm going to fold that down. We're going to fold here once, and then a second time is going to go up and into this fold here. And again, we're going to clip once on each side. Fold and fold. And make sure that that is on top of these folds here. If you don't,
Don't get these folds in.
Your mom just gave us 6s.
Geez, Mom, you leaning on something? All right.
Cindy, there is no name for this basket. It's literally just something that I saw somebody do on Instagram. There's
right.
no pattern that I can
So-
find.
This is the great thing. We've got 3 other sides, so I'm going to do it again.
Do it again. Yep.
All right. So here we are. I'm going to, you know what? I'm just going to zoom down if that, because
Yeah.
I can't hold it up. So
There we go.
is that better?
Yeah.
all right, so we have our top flap. We're going to fold it, including some of the white lining. All right. We're going to fold once. That will bring that fold basically to the top of that bottom fold that we just did in the previous step. And fold number 2 is going to go on top of that fold. All right, if you need to, you can move these clips down, but you don't want to remove them. You want that to stay in position. All right, so I'm going to slide those down, and since I had to move that, I'm just going to make sure everything stays nice and smooth. I don't have enough hands. All right, what's the matter?
Your mom said, oops.
All right, so again, if you see,
This second fold is on this fabric here, which is going to be where we have that side fold. All right, just so that you guys can see where that's
going. So now we have 2 sides done. We need to open the other direction and repeat with these 2 sides. So again, fold and then a double fold here. We're going to have 1 clip on the right and 1 clip on the left, and then completely flip again. Last time. Okay, take the top and a little bit below where the fold is. You're going to have 1 fold that's on all the lining, and then your second is going to go into this part here, and then clip that in place. 1 over there, and 1 over here. All right, so when I open that, you can see.
It already looks like a
I
basket.
already did better than last time.
All right, so now we just need to sew everything around the top so that these guys stay in position. You will need your free arm
Of your sewing machine.
machine. We're going to come back over here. Look at that.
It looks like a basket.
It looks like it's
Not a
supposed
hat.
to.
All right, so I'm going to come back over here. If you want to. And I'm going to cross my fingers that
Everything continues to stay where it's supposed to.
and slide this guy down just a little bit.
Still a little nervous of taking that out. And we're going to sew all the way around. You could do this with a decorative thread if you want. I'm just going to go literally straight through the center. So I have my fold centered on,
I think you want to be towards the left a little. Your needle. Yeah.
I have the fold centered through my J-foot though.
Yeah.
So my seam is toward, I think we're all the way left, aren't we?
We're all the way left. Yeah.
All right, so it's going to stitch towards the bottom, which is going to keep that roll in place. And I'm going to secure it. This is where that needle really made a difference, or is going to make the difference. Not so much the previous seams, but this one, sorry.
That's okay.
Um,
I'm invading your sewing space.
well, just a little bit. So, oh, this is so much better with the foot pedal too. Look at that. All right, so again, I am keeping my whole roll staying right underneath. All right, I think I can keep
Going? I think I'm going to keep
going.
Yeah.
I am
I'm
going
gonna
to
just
keep all the way around. I don't think I have to stop, so I'm just going to go right into the next one. Oh, what a difference a day makes. I mean, an hour makes.
I really think that when we get the other stabilizer, it'll even be that much better. Something that's not quite as squishy.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to slide this down and come right around.
It's like we knew what we were doing.
Almost. Oops. That corner might not be as tight. And coming back around. All right.
What do you guys think? Is it going to work?
It's like
Or
it.
do I have another hat?
No, I think you got a box. I think you got a basket. Yay!
Are we going over here?
We're going over there.
All right, so
Look at that.
we've got
A little
basket that is adorably,
cute.
it's got little corner points,
It's got little flag.
points, and that is a cute little guy.
Yeah.
If it's stiff,
Enough,
Mm-hmm.
but it could use a little more oomph, maybe.
Yeah.
but that, I mean, you certainly could put fabric pieces or whatnot in there, and it is just for
Kicks. Let's see what.
what we ended up with. We are basically an 8x8, and it is
About 4 inches tall.
about 4 inches tall. So an 8x8 square, about 4 inches.
Inches tall.
You want to compare the two?
No. Would you like to see it next to the other one that I totally bombed? So there's the bad one. and there's the pretty one.
Yeah. So much better.
So much better. And that,
Really was very easy.
It really was.
once you know where the folds go,
That made all the difference.
difference. Yeah.
Um,
and I think the right stabilizer in the
so I
makes a big
definitely
difference.
recommend a very good contrast. Otherwise, you lose. I think you would lose the look there. But that is fun. I can like do this a whole bunch.
Yeah, that was really fun. Good job, Lisa.
That
Good job.
that is a darling little guy. I could make these in. I mean, you guys know my mom. You can ask her. I got crap laying
Laying all over the place.
Right? They would
But
be
I
really
mean,
cute. I mean,
you
in
know,
the bathroom.
for like a project
Yeah.
of, here's the
Things that I'm gonna need.
Yep.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Instead of having it go.
Everywhere.
Right.
Those are really cute.
Look at, we can make baskets for everything now, Tucker.
I can make them. She's like, yeah,
She's not buying it.
We'll add to all the other baskets.
Except for these ones like mash down and like store away. You see, because it's fabric.
It's fabric.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
So,
Good job,
yes.
Lisa.
Look at that.
The coloring is so weird.
I don't know what
wonder
happened.
If it looks like that at home.
I don't know. Does it look all? Oh,
There we go. It got a little.
it changed again. I don't know.
Weirdo.
These lights. I
But,
blame the lights.
So we do have these bundled if you would like.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be enough to do 2. So you'd get the stabilizer and basically a yard
Of fabric.
Yep.
1 yard of the light white and a half yard of each.
Yes.
And then you could cut your squares. Basically, you need a fat quarter of each piece. Is
Yep,
really what
so
you need.
you'll
So
be able to make
you get
2.
the fat quarter.
And we'll have the correct stabilizer in there. We'll have
Yep.
something that's not quite even this squishy. Something even
It'll
a little
be
bit better.
even a little bit more shape in there.
Yep.
So too fun, and you could
Put something in the base part, even afterwards, if you wanted to,
Yeah.
to give it.
Absolutely.
a little bit of firmness in the bottom if you wanted to.
Super.
So
Cute.
too fun.
Good
So,
job. Look at that.
there we
And
go.
It didn't even take 20 minutes. I don't think.
It didn't.
I don't think so.
I don't know. So, and I refolded it a couple of times so people could see.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helped.
I like you like my bottom thing. It says BAM.
Bam!
Oh, and then I spelled it wrong. To have a perfect fabric basket.
No, wait. Ka-chow!
Yeah.
We wink our headlight.
Yeah.
Ka-chow!
Good grief. The hurrier you go, right?
Yeah. So, too much fun.
I gotta say, that without fighting the stabilizer, that was a lot of fun to sew.
Yeah.
I would totally do that on repeat. That was
Super fun.
absolutely would. What happened?
I was hoping it would let me fix
Edit it.
Edit. Nope. I didn't edit it. I deleted it. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
So that's what we had for you today. Don't forget to sign up for embroidery or sewing class.
For next week, we're going to have just as much fun with that.
And
Another week after that, we're going to be
Having a big
having a big sale. Now, if you are part of our Block of the Month, which I know a lot of you are because there's 60 people in that group,
Your kits are ready.
your kits for July are ready.
we have a couple things
That we need to add into the email of instructional.
but we will send out your files and things really soon, but the actual directions with color stops and all of that will be just a hair longer.
But due to lovely schedules and things, we will only be meeting one day. It will be videoed and, of course,
recorded
that you can watch it as needed. But we will only be meeting on
Saturday.
Yeah, next week Saturday.
next week, Saturday, just so that you guys know ahead of time. We'll be sending out that information as well. But
Since we're here,
and so we're
probably many of you.
thought I'd throw that out there.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
you
Yep.
guys can make your
Because I have to
plans.
get a septic change.
Super yeah. I know it's super exciting, and let me tell you, she would rather be here.
I sure would.
But,
But somebody has to be home.
Unfortunately, she has to be at home next Wednesday, so won't be able to be here
Nope.
and doing that class. So we're only going to meet
Meet on Saturday.
next week for Block of the Month.
Just FYI out there, so you guys can make your own arrangements as early as possible. We try not to leave things too.
Last minute, but sometimes we can't help it.
Yep.
So there you go.
All right. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Good job, Lisa.
She was like, "You think you can do it?" I'm like, "We're gonna find out."
You did it.
Well,
Good job.
the first one,
Bombed like.
That's okay.
nobody's
We learned
business.
a
But
lot.
That's what makes it fun, right? And we always say we make the mistakes so you guys don't have to. So there you go.
That's right. All right.
And boy, did I make mistakes.
Yeah.
I knew as I was sewing it, I was like, I probably don't even bother sewing this final seam, but I wanted to see how bad it was gonna turn out, and boy, it was bad.
Yep,
It was really bad.
it really was. It was not really basket-ish.
Not even a little bit.
No.
So, but the second one turned out, so yay!
Yep. Yay. All right.
Thanks for joining us, and the kits are available. We just have to wait for the stabilizer that we decided on that would work to get here. So it will be a hot second before they'll ship out or are ready. So wait until we tell you that they're ready to pick up and whatnot before you just come on in. And but so much fun, and it is raining. Yes, if you guys can hear the noise, as soon as the rain starts, the roof here goes ballistic. So yes, thank you for joining us, and don't forget to sign up for class and get your kit.
Right.
So we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.